sitting here, you're in my living room now.
Yep.
Does it dawn on you, like, that was not 30 years ago?
Yeah.
You're talking about a pretty short window of time. You become a multi-millionaire,
yeah.
met the woman of your dreams, and you're one of the biggest influencers, if you add up all platforms, that exist in the world today.
Yeah.
Does it dawn on you?
Crazy.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it does. Sometimes we think of it, but I think I'm always thinking of the next idea or video. That's really where my head always.
You're in the flow of doing it.
Like just when we were talking with you and your wife, I'm already starting to think of something funny where you're playing the whole, you're my father.
I'm gonna be your dad.
So like,
which just sucks that works. By the way, the fact that you're accepting of the idea really.
No, you guys look.
I want to stay on this, and I want to go now to Jen. So you meet him. He's already got a pretty decent thing going on with prank videos.
On YouTube. He was videoing all the time. When I first met him, he's like, "Do you even know what I do?" And I'm like, "No, aren't you just my friend's funny friend? Like, I'm not sure what you do." And he's like, "Oh, I'd make videos." And he starts sending me the videos, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you're funny." And then, we started off as friends, and I don't even know really where to begin.
But what makes it work? Like, I want to know what you think makes this work. We're going to talk a little bit about, I want everyone to kind of grasp this. I think when we met, which was years ago when we first started talking, I saw your stuff, I thought you were hilarious. And then he kind of, if I could just be transparent, reached out to me, said, "Hey man, I want some advice and someone to visit with. And I'm from Massachusetts originally, you're back there." And then when you told me the story, I was like, "Brother, you're going to be on my show. We just need to find the right time." I just think it's amazing that someone takes that kind of, you even worked at a psych ward for a while, right? Like it's incredible. And the disparity between that time in your life to now, he knows everybody, but something changed and it went to a new level when obviously you add this beautiful woman to your content. That doesn't hurt. So now there's the funny with the beautiful. But Jen, what do you think makes your stuff work? Like, if you were to say one thing, what makes people so captivated by the two of you?
I just think the comedy behind it, the being relatable to a lot of couples. So relating to those awkward couple situations, if he doesn't clean the dishes, your wife's going to be mad. So just going off of things that are relatable to couples and kind of just...
Well, I want to stay on that. I think that's the key too. And I think a lot of people are thinking, well, or MYLETT got pretty big on social, nowhere near as big as you guys, because he's like a business guru guy or whatever. Like, he has something to say because he's a rich dude. And they discount their own value of what they could be building as a brand. Or, some professional actress or football player, well, they've got a big following because they're also a football player, an actress. These are two extraordinary people, but everyday people from real life who started to document funny things about their life. Their success leaves clues, right? So I think it's that they do relate to you.
Right.
What do you think, Ryan?
I would 100% say exactly what she said. Relatability.
We wear regular clothes. We live in a regular house. We, drive regular cars, kind of. And I think people can relate to that and they appreciate it. We just seem like normal.
I didn't want to be our fans are like family. I didn't want there to be a separation of, we have money, I gotta wear Gucci everywhere, I gotta wear this and that everywhere. I mostly just wear like sweats and normal Adidas, and she always looks beautiful.
Like a baseball hat sometimes when I'm not filming and stuff. Casual.
They're like a family. But what she said, relatability is the biggest key to any content, I believe. 100%. I would say that's the first thing I would say. She took the words out of my mouth. So that plus the funny things that couples may not say, like embarrassing things especially.
Right.
And it's always funny when someone makes fun of themselves, like me farting around, or like that's a very common thing in a relationship, like, oh, and then they just go crazy, like everyone's tagging their boyfriend, or sometimes the boys are tagging the girls. That doesn't, she's not ripping ass on me, luckily, but I guess there's couples out there where
funny though. But I think you're hitting it, so I want to stay on this. I think what's compelling about your stuff, it's almost like anti-traditional social. Traditional social is heavy filters, right?
Yeah.
Look at my jet.
Exactly.
We're having a blast and everything's perfect.
Right.
And so millions of people watch that type of social media content and go, I can't post this stuff. Everything's not perfect.
Exactly.
Right? I am not perfect. I don't have a jet. Why would someone want to listen to my stuff? I actually think in the world. You're proving it. You have way more engagement and followers than people who have jets and helicopters and mansions, because you're documenting the funny stuff of life. And I don't even think it has to be funny. I actually think if there was a woman who's listening to this and she starts documenting the struggle with getting dressed in the morning, getting her kids off to school, tell me if you agree with this, Ryan, because you're the guru.
Yeah.
And then like she misses a sale at work and she's on there and she's upset. She goes, I missed work and I'm late picking the kids up. And you almost start rooting, becoming a fan of this person because they document their life. Am I wrong about that?
That's exactly what I would say, which is, we were discussing earlier about, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And of course, I think, when we're having children, I think it'd be great to document, just funny things, like funny things of her being pregnant. There's funny trends even going around right now where the man is taping watermelons to his belly and trying to do everyday things like tie his shoe. But I think millions of people will find it just so interesting and it's real. Like you said, it's everyday stuff that couples go through, whether it's fighting or different moods or when she's on her period or, obviously we do exaggerate a little bit to add the comedy things, but it's so relatable that they're just...
That's what, to me, that's the funny in your stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I wouldn't probably post that. They went there.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? That, to me, this funny
Cross
thing.
the line a little bit.
A little bit on
yeah.
your stuff crosses the line, but I just think people aren't getting, like, people want to root for you. They want to connect for you. I think seeing, like, and I know this, by the way, so I'll post the ocean out there that we're both looking at right now, right? So the first 3 or 4 times I did that, people are like, wow, the ocean. The truth is, they're like, all right, dude, I've seen your ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my stuff that does better is when I'm like, I've had a really rough day.
Exactly.
And here's what I'm dealing with.
Real.
Like, that's the stuff. And I don't think enough people get there's value in your life documenting. You don't have to create. See, people that follow me, I think it's like, well, I better have a post about how to get motivated, or I better have a key about how to build culture in a company. Why don't you leave that to kind of someone else right now? What if you documented your life and the business that you're building or the family that you're building? So are one of the two of you more comfortable on camera? I'm curious. Like, some people I meet that I know that are really big on social, they're one hit, they're just naturals. But I know a lot of people, it's like, I've been around, I was surprised, like I've done their shows like this, and because we just shoot, we don't edit, we just shoot it and it goes out. But I've been on other shows where like the host takes 11 times to do the introduction, and but yet it's a very successful show. So I don't think even being a natural necessarily has to matter. I think a lot of people go, well, I'm terrible, it takes me 11 takes. Or how about you guys when you shoot stuff?
Everyone has their style, so I mean, if it takes someone 11 times, it does. We're very unique when we shoot. We'll come up with a very basic idea, and then we'll have, we have a few different people who will video for us, and then we just kind of improv it after, and that's where our greatest stuff.
That's when the best is made, when it's not planned, when it's more just like random, let's film this, let's do it. And then the ones that we do 10 times filming, those are the ones that don't do the best. It's always the ones that are just the easiest.
So legit, the one where there's itching powder in your panties, like that's my favorite one of all time. But like, that was real?
Yeah, that was real.
That was legit.
That was real.
Same with
and that hurt. Like,
one.
I can feel the pain. That was not, and it happened to my bra too. That's the one I remember most, the bra.
She actually put the bra on with the itch powder in it like 2 days later.
And I went to the
still
gym, and I worked out at the gym, and the sweat made, no, that's not funny. It was terrible. But yeah, no, that really happened.
So you're improving. So a lot of this stuff, to me, it's that good, and then you're good at this. So.
No, so a lot of it is real. But then, of course, the skits is us acting and portraying the relatability, which is why they go viral. The relatability is always key. But when we're doing those skits, I can't just sit there and write in a notebook all these ideas. They just come to me, and I will write a very basic idea, and then when the camera's on, she'll come up with something that would be so funny, we throw it in, and then I come up with something, and then all of a sudden you just got a big viral, and people are like, wow, this is just...
I want to talk about viral, but I want to ask you this. So there's someone watching this, they go, I'm not funny. So my thing isn't funny. My thing is interesting, or my thing is like, I like goldfish, or whatever, right? My thing is that. Do you recommend they take time once a week, the average person listening to this, and just write out concepts for things they could create like you do? What would your advice be?
My biggest piece of advice is niche. Stay in your niche. Find a niche and stay. We're a couple. Not going to veer outside of that. I'm a couple. Stay in a niche. If you want to do goldfish, you better know
everything.
Every single thing about the goldfish. every single thing, pieces of content every single day, and you know so much about goldfish that if someone in the whole entire world wants to know something or something's going on, you're the person that they're going to contact because they want to know about the goldfish. I think just becoming the best at a specific thing, like niche. Me and her, give me something. Go give me a rock from your yard, and I'll make something viral with your rock.
Great advice.
Sticking with one niche, whether it's gaming's a very big industry, or whatever. I think people don't stick with the niche long enough and they get outside of it.
Right.
I think the niche is like my biggest piece of advice. Find a niche, stay in that niche. You don't have to be funny at all, but you better have knowledge and you better be offering people,
Passionate.
Something that is worth their time to watch. And that would be my biggest thing.
So if you're a big New England Patriots fan, for example, you better know everything about the New England Patriots or football
I
in
know
general.
people that
that's your
have
thing.
big pages that are fans of the
too.
Pats, and they just talk about the Patriots all the time, and his social media account's growing a lot. And
that just always
people
ties into
recognize
other
it.
things. If someone wants to go and they want to bet, you're damn well sure that these people that could be millionaires want to go, hey,
great point.
What's up with this? What's going on with the Patriots? Get this guy. This guy's the best.
Yeah, I think of other Massachusetts dudes like a Bob Menery or whatever, like just doing funny voiceover stuff that's led to a gambling sponsor of the show or whatever. So you're totally right about that.
See how it all connects.
You're very, very right about that. That's one of my negatives is that I'm broad. I'm entrepreneurship. I'm your body. I'm relationships. I'm spirituality. I'm improve your life. And I think sometimes defining that, to me, it's just like your life will be better. That's my niche.
Of course, of course.
But to your point, sometimes or fitness, like if I were just in fitness, so that's really great advice, especially when you're small or be niche oriented, so that there's a following already built for what it is you niche yourself in. That's really, really good.
Exactly.
What else would you say, Ryan? I've met most everybody.
Yeah.
I would say that you are the best expert on branding social media platforms of anybody that I've met.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, so they film, they get into influencer, the whole influencer marketing and all that. I've been lucky enough to have people like you and, Adam Weitzman, who I've mentioned. There's a huge business part, but not just the business, then there's also the algorithm part. So that is like the biggest thing I think people are missing. Remember, recently Clubhouse has become big.
Yes.
I think it's on the decline now. Or
I was going to say, it seems like the last several months. I just said that the other day to somebody.
Came in, kind of left, but I would go on Clubhouse here and there, and like people would spend 3 hours just talking about hashtags. Like, a hashtag can definitely help you a little bit, of course, if you're doing it correctly, By the way, I recommend like 3 to 5 hashtags. That's my recommendation, not 50.
Why?
Because you have to think of specific, right? I know that Instagram, I believe, allows up to 20. I've never even come into that territory. But when you have all kinds of different things, it doesn't really know where to put you.
Okay.
So you want to keep your hashtags 3 to 5. I usually use 2 really big, like love, couple, then a niche, hammy TV, and then more not as viral hashtags, a little bit smaller just to mix it up. But I just stick to 3 to 5.
Very good.
Just because you're going to confuse the algorithm. But the point of that is that instead of sitting there talking all this time about hashtags, just go film the content. That's really the biggest thing. And that's one thing that her and I have is we're extremely persistent. We're on a honeymoon, we're still posting. Whatever it is, we are posting no matter what. We've never even taken 2 weeks off of posting in years.
Not even a week.
Yeah, persistence is the biggest thing.
Do you have a recommendation about, by the way, awesome. So I've never been told that before. I post too many hashtags. Do you have any recommendation about posting? In other words, is there a ratio to followers to posting? Like sometimes I see people with 80 followers have 26 story posts in a day, and I sometimes think that seems heavy relative to that many followers. But so do you look at it based on follower to post? Should they post every day? Should it be, if we're talking about Instagram, for example, because we're going to go to TikTok in a minute. Should it be every day in their main feed, every day on their story? What would you recommend on that?
Definitely post every day.
Every day?
100%. Especially stories. Got to post every day. I do a lot of tricks in our stories. I like to, in the first story, I always like to use like the sliding bar or something that makes them engage. This seems to really get it on the algorithm, and it gets a lot more, it's a lot more engagement. There is a there is an explore page for stories still. So if you notice all of a sudden your stories are insane, it's getting pushed out. You know, it's an interesting story.
I didn't know that.
Because people can share your story.
Okay.
They can do whatever. So I like to make the first one, like today she woke me up by dumping water on my face.
Yeah.
So then of course I put like the little slide in laughing emoji.
Brilliant.
First, right away, first story, everybody's seeing it, it's funny. They're gonna wanna see what else is going on throughout the day.
Brilliant.
Definitely post every single day.
Okay.
But use these engaging tools that they give you. Quizzes. We always put questions and quizzes in our stuff.
You do.
Who's older? What is Jen's ethnicity? Who said I love you first? And give them a little quiz.
So
very engaging. You know, your stories are the form of a TikTok, right? TikTok is short video. Stories, I think people post stuff up and they know it's not good. And some people just post it up and they know themselves it's boring. So don't put it up. Put something funny or relatable again. You know, don't just chuck stories up to chuck stories up, because they're going to get less engaged.
Do you put hashtags on your stories and hide them?
I don't. I used to. It did work.
Okay.
I recommend that you should do it. I don't really. It's not massive like it was. For a little while, there was an actual place on the Explore page where you could see stories.
Yeah.
And Reels took the place of that.
Okay.
So that's kind of gone. But yeah, you can still kind of show up here and there.
Okay, so first post should have some engagement to it.
Of course, always.
Shouldn't, okay, didn't know that.
Use their tools, the sliding bars, the quizzes,
Polls,
the questions.
all those things?
All
Polls?
those things.
Okay.
You'd be surprised at how many, you know, even people that are watching right now, go out and do it. Ask your fans something simple. Where am I from?
Yep.
We just did, I wish I could grab my phone, the one I showed you with 1 million views.
Yes.
Just a story, that 1 million views on our story.
Yep.
Where are we headed?
Yeah.
Florida, LA,
saw that.
or whatever it was.
Yep.
Like 230,000 chose LA, 100-something thousand in Florida.
When I'm telling you guys that I've never had anybody on my show, it's some of the most famous people in the world that have the engagement that they have, the real engagement on their social. You're getting this from the best. So, okay, hashtags on stories, yeah, probably do it, but it's not the most critical thing. Engagement on the first stories. Can you post too many things on Instagram stories? Is there a number where, I feel like sometimes if I go to somebody and I see 700 dots at the top of their deal, I disengage or I click through. And you're also, algorithm punishes you for click-throughs, does it not? If someone's clicking forward?
I personally have never heard of that.
Okay, well then I don't want to put that out there if it's not accurate. I've just been told that.
I have not ever heard of that.
Okay.
But of course, rewatches is really going to help as well.
That means when they click
people
back.
watch, they're like, oh, like her slamming water in my mouth and face. They're going to go rewatch it again.
Yes.
The algorithm will most certainly, which is huge on TikTok as well, and any platform really, if they're rewatching, that's massive.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Story that's the same theme. So I know we're getting granular here, everybody, but like, I know this is what you all want from my show. So story that's the same theme, meaning I'm talking about palm trees. I'm making it up. It would be more interesting than that. Do you recommend that a story only be 1 or 2 slides? In other words, I find that if I'm like, it's a 52-second story, so it's 3 or 4 slides on there, I can see the views drop off oftentimes the longer that I go.
Yeah, I mean, the average attention span is 7 seconds now.
Right.
Okay, so are most of your stories individual 15-second stories?
Individual 15 seconds, almost like if I made a TikTok.
Okay.
Very, like, I would go out, I would show the palm tree, I'd be like, do you guys know what this is? You know?
Okay, so you very rarely do a continuous story about the same point or same message. Almost never.
Almost never.
Okay.
No.
All right, awesome stuff. And do you agree with him, Jen, on I mean, he's very bullish on TikTok. You guys have gone from 0 to 10 million followers on there like this. And so, I'll let Ryan speak to this in a minute, but are you seeing that too? Do you feel like for you guys that TikTok has become a more viral platform than the other ones?
Definitely.
What do you think the reason is?
I think it's the new hot platform. I know everyone is using TikTok. Different age groups too. I think that there's a lot of younger people on TikTok, but then there's people our age and older on TikTok. There's lots of different groups on there.
Yeah.
It's the hot thing. So
there's people your dad's age. I'm on there.
Oh, so and my dad's 70, so you're
my dad's 65.
So I'm on the right over there. But I found out, it's funny that you say that, Jen, because I've found lately more of my friends in my demo texting me TikTok stuff
Yeah,
to
they
watch
are.
than they did
where
even
trends
6
happen.
months ago. Is
And
it?
I think it's the
happening.
attention span too, because they're quicker videos. Instagram, maybe the 60-second videos are boring people, and they're like, we want to see the action. Let's go on TikTok and see the stuff that's going to make us laugh, or give us the information right away that,
60 seconds is now too long to
It's
have
too
a
long.
story.
It's boring people, yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's a long time. I wouldn't even
Not
watch it.
everyone,
You would watch a
but
60-second deal.
It's too long for me.
What about IGTVs? Like them or don't like them? Because they're more than a minute long. Do you think?
I think IG is very lost right now, to be honest.
Okay.
I know we were discussing that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't really know what Instagram is. You know, they just totally took TikTok, made it into Reels, IGTV for longer videos. They got shopping. My Explore is not really even tailored to what I like. But then you go to TikTok and the precision is just, the videos they're showing me, the AI intelligence is absolutely insane. Every video I'm like, this is gold, gold, gold. TikTok is what Instagram was 3 years ago.
Okay.
If Instagram famous, you now become TikTok famous.
You do.
100%.
You know, Ryan, the other thing that I've seen is that, and follow me on TikTok because I haven't really been doing much there, but I'm going to do more. I'm also seeing that I have colleagues and friends of mine that have like 80,000 followers, but they can get 1 million views on a video.
Exactly.
Whereas on Instagram, it's sort of the flip, it's reverse. You can have 1 million followers and you're happy if you get 80,000
Right.
views. So that's the other nature of the content. Is that what you mean by the Explorer part of the TikTok?
Yeah, so, wow, I mean, this is like
Go for it.
It's crazy. Yeah, this is the stuff I love. So, right now, TikTok is completely open. Basically meaning, 3 years ago when we would post on Instagram, Jen and I would gain 40 to 50,000 people from a post. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Why? Because Instagram's pay to play, basically.
Yes.
The whole Explorer is way too flooded. They have way too many things, including shopping, Reels, normal carousels, IGTV. It's just too much. Sometimes I get even lost on the app, and they're coming out with too many updates, this and that. Plus, of course, the sponsored posts. Sponsored posts went from 1 in every 15 to 1 in every 4 now.
Okay.
Okay, so they also took away Chrono. Chrono was the best ever, chronological order.
Yeah.
Why? Because if you have all the good stuff on the top, they're not going to scroll as much. Wow. And you're not scrolling as much, you're not hitting as much ads. Instagram's not making as much money.
Wow.
Everything's money on Instagram.
Okay.
TikTok, none of that exists yet.
Yet.
When you post, we just grew 150,000 last week.
Last week you grew
Last week.
150,000.
We haven't even been on
This?
TikTok a year. We haven't been on TikTok 1 year yet. We're just hitting 10 million. The algorithm is nuts. So when people ask me, how do you grow, and they love to mention Instagram, I say make a TikTok. Right now, go make your Instagram, go make a TikTok, connect your Instagram to your TikTok, and slam TikTok. The way to really grow your Instagram is from YouTube and TikTok and other apps.
What do you mean by connect your Instagram to your TikTok? What do you mean by
So
that?
TikTok, you can connect your Instagram.
Okay.
You can, so that way when someone's on your TikTok, you see the little Instagram symbol. If they want to follow you on Instagram, they just click it and boom.
Okay.
So all your traffic and all the free Explore you're getting on TikTok can convert over to your Instagram.
Bingo.
Of course, it's just huge.
Am I doing that? I don't even know if I'm doing that. I need to find out if I'm doing
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. Yeah, you want to, and your YouTube as well. You can connect both.
Okay. Your YouTube can be connected to your TikTok.
Both. TikTok can connect your Instagram and your YouTube, which is
Okay.
constant
Link
traffic
them.
you're pushing.
What great advice. By the way, the most valuable advice I've ever had on the show on social media by a
Yeah.
bazillion miles is what we're talking about right now. So if you were someone listening to this, recommendation is go get a TikTok, create a TikTok account. Still the advice applies though. Create interesting, compelling.
Of course.
I mean, like I follow this
100%.
lady on there who's a grandma, and basically every day she posts, "This is my outfit," and
Yeah.
for some reason I think
It's the best.
I actually, you know what I'm talking about? I forget her
No.
name, but like Grandma Jean, I think, or whatever. Like, I just think she's different than me.
Yeah.
She's not rich. She's 80-something years old. It's just her outfit of the day, but she says it with this, I'm interested in it, right?
Yeah.
And like, she's got, I don't know, 1 million followers or something on TikTok.
Crazy.
So there's a space. Here's what people are missing. You're making, I mean, let's be honest, they're making millions of dollars now, these two. But I'm from Massachusetts, so there's this thing like, you know, we mentioned Menery earlier, even these stand-ups that you and I know, like the Bill Burrs
Yep,
and these
yep.
other guys, we're all like Boston dudes, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I have this, that's why you and I connect, I think, like, I just have these things from dudes who grew up like me. So I know how you grew up. Like, these are real people, man.
Yeah.
And like, I mean like real. Like not even like upper middle class real. Like real people they're just good people who want to be somebody in their life, and they found a niche, to your point. They've become millionaires. But not only that, like, like this interview today, bro, if you really think about it, you created these millions of followers. You didn't know that at some point when you were doing this, there's someone that listened to this with PTSD who's now not going to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
There's somebody living in their house who can't get out. It's like, I'm going to change my life. Like, you didn't know this while you were doing this, but now you're flipping this notoriety into a contribution and a difference making, not just laughter, which is huge, and entertainment, but like real lives changing.
Yeah.
Like, I think the other thing about the two of you, like, it's like couple goals. Like, they just got married, right? But like, I think lots of people, even me, even though I'm advanced as a couple, like, I watch them, like, that's what you want to be as a couple. They're funny, they laugh at each other, they argue, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a massive impact, your content. And when you do start to document someday having children, and that change in you is just going to be super miraculous. So if I'm there, what if I say, I'm not good on camera? Do you think blogs are done? Should someone have a blog? Should they have a YouTube channel? What's your advice on that?
I mean, I think you would be better at answering that because she's actually more of the introvert. I'm more of the outgoing.
Yep.
So
I wasn't comfortable filming at first at all. But you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And it was a passion of his. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll try it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And I did it, and I was awkward, but people loved it, and then they wanted more and more. So I'm like, okay, this is fun. This is cool. And now this is, both of our full-time jobs.
That's hard to believe that you were uncomfortable doing it.
Very uncomfortable.
Like nervous about even shooting it, you mean, or?
Yeah, I think I cared a lot about what others would say or think.
Yes.
And now I don't care about others' opinions as
Is that
much.
real? I'm gonna challenge you on that. So
That's very
your type
real.
of content, I get people, my stuff is like 99.9 favorable feedback.
That's
because it's
good.
just sort of the people that follow me are people who want to make a difference.
Exactly.
So they're overall positive people, right? Yours is more like, it's everybody.
Yeah.
So you got people who want to hate, want to talk bad, they're in that fringe part of social media as
Trolling.
part of your following. What would you call it?
Trolls.
Troll land.
Yes.
So that you're okay with that now. It doesn't bother
I'm
you.
definitely okay with that. I think it speaks who they are, not on who I am. I don't think that that's a happy person. If they're gonna watch one of your videos that you've made and they're gonna draw negativity or say something negative about it after watching it, then what does that say about you? Why are you watching it? You don't have to watch us. You don't have to follow us.
And then you get a message like you watched it.
There's
you
negativity all the time. But I will say, I think our fans are much more loving than hate, I would say.
Our fans are bad.
Yeah, I would overall,
What's that?
for sure.
Our fans are. I wish we could just get them all
Yeah.
But that part's not easy for anyone on social media.
But you've learned to deal with it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I don't get a lot, but I'll be candid with you. I'm a 50-year-old man who should not care. But I'm being honest with people when I'll see one, whatever. He's on steroids or whatever the heck they say. Well, you had to say that about him. But the other thing I found out, sometimes they'll message you and apologize, like, "Hey man,
They just want a reaction.
I didn't know you'd read it. I really like you." Does that happen to you too?
That's why I don't even reply.
Yeah, I don't either anymore.
They just want your reaction.
Yeah, they just want your reaction.
Which is weird.
Which they want attention. They want attention, which is kind of sad when you think about it. It's like, wow, and we definitely went through phases You know, it wasn't just like right away. We were like, damn, look at this
Still, I'll see
person
stuff
saying.
here
you
and
know?
there, and I'm like,
About you, they'll comment on your appearance or something like that.
Right,
Yeah.
all the time. And I'm just
anything.
like, whatever. He loves me. Why do I care what that person is saying?
It's a growth, though. I want people to know out there that it's
Yes.
a growth thing.
It is.
It's taken us a while to get to where now we're just like, you know, especially like reading. I love to read, and you know, us being able to communicate together, like this is craziness, you know, and understanding what hate is, why are they hating, and you know, educating yourself on that as well. Gradual process to just accept and like, okay, they're not happy. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's super important because if you're going to go do this, you're going to go through that phase.
100%.
And if you're not ready to take some heat for what you're doing, by the way, some of them are going to be people that work with you that have fake accounts that are just hammering you because they're jealous you're doing better.
We've lost family, friends,
everything. Yeah, social media is a funny place. They don't necessarily see all the work. They just see the beauty and the
funny and the
best
laughter
moments. And but the work is just, you know, like even just knowing the algorithms and what's going on, and then, you know, you got to be filming the ideas. There's so much that goes on. So social media is kind of a lie in that end.
It is a lie. And I was just thinking of listening to the two of you the whole time. Like, Ryan and I have talked enough and that I knew what a good person you were. I also knew how smart you were. Like, you don't give yourself a lot of credit for this. You're not an average intellect person. Like, you've become an expert at your craft. This is things people... people don't appreciate. This isn't just because he's funny. He's an expert at the algorithms. He's an expert at when to post, how to post, what to create, the back part of social media and all these other platforms. And then in meeting Jen, there's a goodness and a kindness to her that it's not surprising to me that the two of you are a successful couple. Like, you should be. And I don't think enough people that are listening to this or watching to give themselves credit. Like, you're a really good human being. You intend to do good in the world. You should be successful. You're supposed to be. It violates laws of nature if you're not long term. These two people should be winning. They're great people. They do great work for people. And I'm wondering, like, for you